At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
About your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe community, heart, you're doing it.
Observations TFR, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday.
Here we are, people. It is another great episode of Observations TFR. What's today? Stock Wednesday. What's the topic? Bullish stocks. This is also inaugural day. Did you see the inauguration? Did you watch the inauguration? Did you watch what was happening on TV just a little bit earlier, starting around about 8:30 this morning, maybe earlier, but that's when I got up and started turning on and watching it. And we watched the inaugural, right? Let me say that it's very interesting. I found out that he has been friends with a pastor from the AME church for over 30 years. But then I forgot that, and that will almost make me forget, but there were a lot of pastors and a lot of pastors and a lot of CBC, Congressional Black Caucus, that was about, lock them up. Lock them up. They're selling dope. Lock them up. And so that's really no, what can I say? That's really no biggie that he's, you know, no biggie that he's friends with this guy, right? We are on. Let me place that right there. That's right. Now, you see how we do this, because that's not coming in. I wish the page would just come in. What's going on with the page not coming in? It's the same thing that happened last time. Anyway, before we get started today, because this is Stock Wednesday, smash the share button, smash the like button as we get started. But before we get started, I'm going to introduce my special guest host, Tonya M. Congress. How are you doing this morning?
Can you hear me? All right. In spite of challenges today or overnight, I'm doing as well as to be expected. So last night, unbeknownst to me, there had been a mini snowstorm. So and then I said, man. So I'm laying down. It's about maybe 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, at 4:30, and I went to turn over, and so all night long I'm taking covers and I'm covering up. Then it gets too warm, and I throw the covers off. This time I throw the covers off. It's freezing. I'm like, what's going on? I get up and I go look at the thermostat. It says 74, and I have to put it at 83 at night. Then I have it like 81 during the day, and so I'm like, it says 74. I'm like, okay, so the battery is full, and so I go and I hit the thing to push it up, and the whole thermostat goes out. I said, okay, so it was on its way out anyway. So I went and I got a whole pack of batteries, like a whole big pack of AA batteries, fortunately. And I went and I put in another set. And then it said that set, now they were brand new, and it said that they only had 2 bars on them. I'm like, well, this must be a defective pack then. Maybe that's why it was on sale. So I went and I got 2 more batteries out of there, put them in there. Nothing happening. So I wound up going to lay back down. I got under the covers, got all the way under the covers with my head and everything, which I usually don't do. Usually can't breathe under the covers. So I went and got under the covers, and then, but I couldn't get rested because I'm trying to find out what's going on. So I go downstairs. I check the fuse. Fuse is good. I checked the breakers. Well, I reset the breakers. Still nothing. So I said, okay, well, then I went on YouTube and looked up the particular thermostat to see what was going on with it and see if I could get some insight. And I had done everything they suggested. I had already did it. So I said, okay, I'm gonna have to call the people in the morning. So my parents, they've had long-standing relationships with different companies and stuff. And I won't say the company's name, but it's a reputable company that's not too far away from here that does our heating and cooling here. And we usually are under contract with them. So I'm going to resume that contract. I'm going to resume that contract very soon, but I had to pay for it, on a singular basis this time. But yeah, he came. I called them at I'm laying in the bed under the covers at 7:45, and I called to see if they were open. She said, well, from 9 to 4 is the window. And so they got here at about 12:15 or 12:10. They got here and checked everything, changed my filter out for me because I had extra filters downstairs. I just hadn't changed it. And so it's all good. So I'm all right. I didn't have a chance to slice my fruit up. I was putting my makeup on in between while the guy was here. He had to stand here in the doorway and watch me put on my lashes. And So I'm on my second cup of coffee and a bowl of ginger, and I'm ready to go. How you doing this morning? I was like, then what was even stranger is you usually call me like an hour to 45 minutes before we start, and we have a conversation before we start, and I didn't hear from you. I'm like, well, what's going on with him? I called and asked Tracy. I said, well, where is Gus at? That's my nickname for D, Gus. I said, where is Gus? And she said, oh, he went out to the car to get some water. I'm like, well, where was he before that? That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, this is a day that's a little bit off, but you know we can handle. We can bob and weave and stick and move and rock and roll because we Ellsberries. Ellsberries can do that.
That's true. You know, I had to go to the car, get in the car, go around the corner to the store and get some water, you know, and then come back because, you know, I was watching the inaugural, you know, I was watching the speeches and watching everything. And I was like, I had to be up on, because what we're talking about is the future of America. And obviously the people who are in America partly are us, right? So we have to be looking at the future of America as I do some more population here of what's going on. So, you know, I discovered, you know, when you do rebranding, you know, we were at a certain level with hashtag TFR Podcast Live, but when you start over and you bring new branding like the spot, all of the different podcast providers have to begin to realign and come back on, right? So this is what I've been experiencing now. We just got our second podcast. Good morning, Stu Elsie. Second podcast provider. We had like 10 that we were on, but it's gradually building back. And so that's what we had to experience. So what is the topic? The topic for today, right? What are the bullish stocks we should have money placed in? The stock market is going up, 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 up. It is a bullish market. Why don't you invest in what hurts or helps you today? Right? So you won't be on the street panhandling. We look at the stocks that are worth investing in. The phone lines are open 213-943-3358. Also, the inauguration was today. You know, it just finished up and then it's going to go over. It just finished up with the young African American, the first ever young African American teenage poet laureate of America. She just finished her speech. It was Still I Rise-esque. It was Still I Rise-esque. I thought she sounded pretty good in what she was doing. Biden's speech was inspirational. You know, Kamala was sworn in first. It was an emotional moment. The first Jamaican, Asian, American, you know, sworn into office that they say she is black, right? So that was emotional. It was an emotional moment. I had to shed a few tears for all the things that American blacks did and other types of blacks get to how can I say, take our place and be recognized as if they were the ones who did it. But that's fine because still we got that person there. So it was an emotional moment. I shed a few tears. I shed a few tears. Look at Kamala. Kamala did it in her chucks. Yes. So, as we go along, people, this is going to be an interesting show because not only is it inaugural day, but gas prices are going up, along with the stock market going up. There's immigrants crashing the border, right? And there are executive orders that are on deck to, oh my God, like, what's going on? What's going on? Well, as Chuck D said, right? Louder than a bomb. What's going on? Well, good morning to Miss Ash, Stuart LZ, Tracy Trace. Good morning, good afternoon. That's right. So look, let's get started with some memes, because this is going to be an interesting day. The phone lines are open. 213-943-3358. 213-943-3358. Did you see the inaugural address? What did you think about Amy Klobuchar being the master or the mistress or the lady of ceremony? Let us know what you think. 213-943-3358. What do you think that America is headed now in these next 4 years? We would like to know from you, or type it in the chat, because we are simulcasting on Periscope, Vimeo, on FB, on the Consciousness, Politics, Entertainment, and Film Females page. Also on YouTube, on the Film Review Live channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, follow right where you're at, where you see us, right? So let's go here. This is a meme that came from Jay Glover, Jay Cool. And he says, my biggest flex is when I leave Earth, my spirit still lives in people, and my lessons and legacy will live on forever. My biggest flex is when I leave Earth, my spirit still lives in people, and my lessons and legacy will live on forever. Right? This is true, and that's probably for people who have children, but many times, if you left a message that was great, it will live on, and your spirit will live on well past your time on the planet, and people who are not who are outside of family, who are not family members. But however, here's a question. What happens if your offspring gets shot down in the street? Well, then when you leave, the person that your main energy and your spirit is in has gone before you, and you've just ended. So hopefully more people know you beyond the people who knew you, so that you live on like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, George Washington, George Franklin, etc., etc. Here's one that was hot off the press yesterday. Death Row Records co-founder Michael Harry O. Harris gets pardoned from Trump. So this comes from Pharaoh Said That, and Pharaoh Said That put his thought on it, and he says this. Right after Trump allowed some black brothers that were convicted with weak evidence to be executed, he's always playing both sides against the middle. Who passed those laws that made it possible for those brothers to be incarcerated in the first place? That's one thing, right? And how many people so many presidents, how many people did President Clinton let go to the gas chamber or to the needle or to the electric chair? Right? How many? So you have to look at it that way. But Trump is gone now, and It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. Hallelujah, hallelujah. But some people still have to pay their reckoning, their recompense for what they did. Now, this woman right here is probably no longer a Trump supporter because Trump pardoned people. Trump left a lot of people on the floor. You know, something like cutting film on the floor, right? So look, Trump supporter, right? And it says Trump supporter Riley June Williams has been arrested after breaking into the Capitol and telling friends she stole computer equipment from Nancy Pelosi and she was trying to sell it to Russia. That's what the news media said, but you know, it came from Fox, so most likely it is possibly true that she was selling it to Russia because she believed what the other news media was saying, that Trump was connected to the Russians, right? So she don't get a pardon, and then look at her, she's so strange. It's just strange. Like this would be her only claim to fame. In my opinion,
she looks similar to that girl.
Go ahead.
She looks similar to that girl, have the same type of look as that girl that attacked the young man about the cell phone. She's had a similar look to her. But this and that other one that you showed yesterday, the one where the sister had punched her in the nose and broke her nose, her own daughter dimed on her. Her own daughter sent a tweet and said something about, and you tell me to stay away from nonviolence, because her daughter is a BLM supporter or part of BLM. So these people are coming out the woodworks, taking on causes. They have no other way to be significant. So they're trying to find some meaning and trying to have their 8 minutes of fame or whatever. And she looks ridiculous.
Miss Ash says, nope, working. We'll watch it later. America is heading into shambles. Okay. Next meme. Dear men, a real woman doesn't want your money. She wants your salary. Good goodness, Biden gets in the office and now the woman wants our salary. They want to take us. They want to replace us. Isn't that what this meme means? Dear men, a real woman doesn't want your money. She wants your salary. S, security. A, attention. L, love. A, affection. R, respect. Y, you. Y-O-U. That's what they want. They want your salary, security, attention, love, affection, respect. You. I thought that was a good meme, breaking down, making an acronym out of salary. You know, I thought that was pretty good. Okay. So this next meme asks, and tell me if you can see this clearly. What song is he listening to? As you see, he's sitting on top of his car, the hood of it, laying on the top of his car, and it appears to be raining. What song is he listening to? What do you think? What song do you think he's listening to, Tonya?
He said it appears to be raining. He's laying on his back on top of the car. I don't know what that would be. It looked crazy. I don't know. Maybe he's raindrops keep falling on my head.
Now, see, that's what I was about to say. I said it could be raindrops keep falling on my head. It could be rain on me, right? But when I saw it, and I answered this particular one because it was interesting. And I said that he's laying on the roof of his car. It's raining, and he's listening to outlaw, outlaw, outlaw. I don't even know what they were saying like that. I just know the outlaw, outlaw part. But that's Tupac from off of Thug Life, the Thug Life EP, Outlaw. And I thought he was just sitting up there listening, taking a break, feeling the rain drop on his head, listening to one of his favorite artists from back in the day that kicked the revolution and the Thug Life, Tupac. That's what I thought when I saw it. I thought that was pretty good. But rain
That
drops
makes
keep
sense.
falling on, or Ashanti, rain on me. Okay, here we go. Here's another, because we're coming into the remnants of this, because Biden mentioned racial justice 5 times. He mentioned racial injustice 4 times. He's mentioned racism 10 times within his inaugural speech. And how this is the time for it to be addressed. I said, yes, right? Can you stand? Oh, Tracy Latrice said, "Can you stand the rain?" Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, I thought of that one too. Yeah.
Can you stand the rain? New edition. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, here we go. So we're at the remnants of this, right? And I want you to look this article up, Tonya, as we get close to hitting the rubber to the road. It's on NPR.org. The lies we tell ourselves about race. Since Biden in the inaugural spoke on racial injustice at least 5 times, spoke on racism about 10 times, spoke on racial justice multiple times within the speech. So the person who wrote this meme, that goes along with clicking to read the article, America isn't fooling anybody anymore! Exclamation point, 2 faces of thought. 2 faces of thought. There's only one group of people that the U.S. government ever sanctioned to be slaves, and that was us! Extreme crying face turning blue. What we're seeing today is just a continuation and an escalation of what has always been true here. ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, are the designated bottom of the American, like KKK, American caste system. Heated, angry face. Think about it. 100, American flag, 100% bullseye. The lies we tell ourselves about race. Do you have that article up?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's read the first paragraph of that article. What do they say that made these people reference this article and write their synopsis like this?
There's a lie some Americans tell themselves when America is on its worst behavior. This isn't America, or this isn't who we are, or we're better than this. That's the first paragraph. You heard versions of this lie again this past week after armed insurrectionists stormed the U.S. Capitol on urging from President Trump, attempting to undo the results of last November's election. Even in the halls of Congress, after the broken glass was cleared and U.S. senators and representatives were allowed back into their chambers from the undisclosed locations, Republican Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska came back to this refrain: "Our kids need to know that this isn't what America is." We are a country built on fabrication, nostalgia, and euphemism. And every time America shows the world the worst of itself, all the contradictions collapse into the lie I've heard nonstop for the last several years. This isn't who we are. In the final weeks of Donald Trump's presidency, we are still collectively struggling over whether to treat his term and the reaction to it as an aberration or as a continuation of an American way of life. So much of it feels unprecedented. The emergence of the Trump led Twitter news cycle, the abandonment of political norms we thought we etched in stone, the seemingly never ending protest movements sprouting up in reaction to it all. It all feels new, but it's not. The images from the Capitol this past week made it clear. A noose hanging outside the building, inside insurrectionists carrying a Confederate flag, members of the mob wearing T-shirts that read "Civil War." Our current troubles and our current administration are both just the latest chapters in America's ongoing battle over race. Once you see it as, want me to stop there?
You see, it's always, whatever you see the immigrants rushing to the border. You see the $15 an hour. At first, they said, we're not going to pay people who we have work for free $15 an hour. But now they say this is a way to get rid of people who have businesses. So let's make $15 an hour. So you have to be very keen and have a keen understanding of what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is about race. In particular, it's about the top of the race, black, and the bottom of the race, white. Top of the race, which is black. Bottom of the race chain, which is white. But they turned it around and made it seem like white was at the top, and not the pinky, but at the top of it, right? So look, black people are like the thumb on a hand. If you don't have the thumb, the other four fingers can't do much. You need the thumb. Thumb helps you grasp. Thumb is the vice grip. The thumb. Without the thumb, the other four, not too much. You can try to get the brown to do something, but let's say the thumb ain't there. Let's see. Can we grab? Can we hold? No, we can't. We can't really. Can we grab the cup? But can we? Oh, we might try to hold the cup, but sooner or later it's gonna fall down, right? But when you got that thumb, you just pick.
How about that firm handshake?
Yeah, the firm handshake with the thumb. If you don't have the thumb, you're going like this, like. So look, this is what we see, right? This is what we see. So let's keep moving here, because you can go read the rest of that article on your own. We're breezing through this today. So this is what America is, but Biden said no. Though I was part of the problem, I'm going to be part of the solution, because I'm going to help you blacks with criminal justice reform. I want to help you blacks like Obama did with criminal justice reform. I don't know if I'm going to let you out like how Trump was changing what I made in the Senate, but I want to do something. I want to do something. Maybe make sentencing less, but you're still going to go to prison, okay? All right, you probably will stay, okay. So this meme comes from Tamara Miss J. Rock Rankin. Tamara Miss J. Rock Rankin. This is one of our Latina sisters in the struggle. She said, Trump about to expose them devils. Countdown starts now. Trump about to exposes them devils. Countdown starts now. But really, it's Trump about to expose them devils. Countdown starts now. You know what? I don't think that Trump is going to do much. He has a whole federal government system against him at this point. I was just talking about Tamara Miss J. Loke Rankin, who is our Latina sister in the struggle through the fist. Trump's about to exposes them devils. Countdown starts now. Trump about to exposes them devils. Countdown starts now. But actually, it's Trump about to expose them devils. Countdown starts now. I don't think that Trump is going to do anything. He has a whole United States government system against him. He has the Republicans. He has the Democrats. He has the judicial system. He has all branches of government, including the presidency, right? The judicial branch, the legislative branch, right? And the executive branch against him. He has local government against him. They are pushing so hard that even SAG-AFTRA is pulling his acting card. I mean, when he first got in there, I said, they're treating him like they usually traditionally treat Nick. They treat, and that's the whole United States government against you. Media too. But he was winning for a while. But with this, what happened at the Capitol on the 6th, it's over. Smash the share button, smash the like button. Here's a meme of Jubilee. This comes from our brother-in-law. He says, I should be done with child support this year. Made it through the worst chapter of my life, still smiling 100. How many can say that? Hashtag, fuck you. All right. Child support. So, I knew child support was unfair when men who weren't the biological fathers, some judges were saying, just pay it because you did lay down with her. Now, I mean, that's some heinous, that's heinous. Just because you laid down with the person doesn't mean that you should pay child support. They said, well, the kid was used to you, so keep paying child. Nah. Okay. Here's one, right? Also from NPR. Hospital bills for uninsured COVID-19 patients are covered, but no one tells them. Hospital bills for uninsured COVID-19 patients are covered, but no one tells them. Now, actually, your stay in the hospital, if you are able, first of all, hospitals aren't supposed to turn you away. But I remember my wife and I, we went to the hospital and it was a couple that was in the hospital. The hospital was in Cleveland, Ohio, and it will remain nameless. But we had went to the emergency because, sometimes colds can be real bad. This is way before COVID. Right? Sometimes colds can be real bad. So we went to the ER and there was a couple in there. And next thing you know, the couple wasn't there anymore because I heard the woman asking, do you have insurance? And then they said no. She gave them some paperwork and then she had them leave. Next thing you know, they weren't there. However, hospitals are not supposed to turn you away. Let me repeat that. Hospitals are not supposed to turn you away. because they are a supposedly non-profit organization. Non-profit. They're not supposed to turn you away. And in cases where you are indigent or have what is that called? That is called a hardship in being able to pay. They're not supposed to turn you away, right? Tell that how hospitals are supposed to not turn you away, Tonya, when you come in, right? Because you've known people who have executed upon it. So let's talk about it.
No, they're not supposed to turn you away. And, personally, I've been self-employed for, I've been self-employed on and off for some years, but officially nonstop since 2012. No, before that. Since about 2010. And so I came to this part where I was getting these different diagnoses back to back to back to back. I went from one thing to another, and all of these things were, required a lot of tests. And, then I got cancer, and then I had to deal with that and all of that. And they sent a bill here, and the hospital will remain nameless. And for some reason, we are frozen. Oh, now we're not. The hospital remain nameless, but I get some things, and it's so ridiculous to me, and it's never gonna happen. I just laugh at it. They sent a bill here for $292,000. That was a cumulative total of everything that had taken place, right? But before I get to that, so when you go into the hospital and they ask you if you're covered by insurance, and you let them know that you're not covered, then they look into your employment. And if you're self-employed, they actually push you in a better position, because you are eligible, depending on what your self-employment, how much it brings in. If it's under, I think if it's under $1,300 in a 2-week period or something like that, if it's under that, then you are eligible for the Medicaid. You're eligible for that. So that's not built in the system. If you are self-employed and your income fluctuates, like it might be one thing 1 month, another thing another month, it fluctuates, that puts you in the running. So they do an examination. But besides that, the hospital itself has a program. The hospital itself has a program for people who are considered under hardship or self-employed, and things are not as steady. So they have a program, and then they supplement that with Medicaid. Okay? So anything left, long story short, they got to take you. And if you sense that they're not treating you like they're supposed to be treating you, you can question it. You don't have to just take stuff because you think that you went in there because you didn't have insurance. See, it's all in what you feel about yourself. I mean, typically, places will try to treat you a different kind of way if they don't think that money is going to be immediate. But you have to demand, you got to let them know you on your toes, you know what's going on. So the whole time, see, I'm very active in my care, and I don't care if I have to be admitted to the hospital or not. I'm telling them what I am and I'm not going to do. I say, this is what we're going to do. This is how I speak to them. This is what I let them tell me what their prognosis is. And then I tell them, okay, this is what we're going to do. Right. And then they have to they know they're not dealing with a slouch. And so they have to treat you according to how you treat yourself. But they cannot turn you away. Any one that turns you away, you need to be calling the local news in your area and getting that on film and letting it be known that this hospital turned you away. But aside from that, I'm glad that we brought this up right now, because a lot of people See, I'm not going into hospitals right now because of the time that we're in, and I am basically my own physician right now. So I'm not going into hospitals, but for those of you who really feel like you have to be dependent on doctors and stuff like that, just go ahead. Whether you have the insurance or not, just go ahead on in. Go ahead on in. They have to take care of you. They have to prescribe the medication. They got to take care of you. And then when you come out, if it's a situation where the hospital takes up some of it and Medicaid takes up the other, and you have any doctor's bills that appear on your credit report, you can dispute those. I had 3 or 4 that appeared on my credit report. I disputed them because they were supposed to be under Medicaid, and they took them off. Okay? So don't be afraid to go. This is it's not widely known, like that article says, like that title. They're not telling you. But listen, the hospital got way more money than you. They have endowments. They have, like, when you go in this one particular hospital downtown, in the location downtown, it's got all of these different Jewish names of wings are named after Jewish families. That means that those families have endowments and things that there's money that came from those families. That's why they have wings named after them. The hospital is a never-ending cycle of money. So they have more money than you. They are prospering. So don't you be ashamed to go, especially if you've been working all your life and you've been doing things all your life, and you've never taken advantage of the system or built the system or anything like that. If you have a need to do something and you have a need to go, don't you be ashamed. You go. You go. And make them take care of you.
Make them take care of you. That's right. So we wanted to bring information because not only is it Stock Wednesday, but we bring information to you so you will know what is going on. Because those people that we saw today turned away, we were like, what happened to them? You know, they seemed like they were there before us. We pulled out our insurance card. We were in the door, right? But next thing you know, I look up, they're gone. They were out the door. So whoever was a slick intake person that slicked them out of their right to be serviced by a house, clipping us over. Oh man, they just don't want people to know, do they? Okay. Well, I guess it's back to Chitlin Circuit movies for you. Coming this summer, Weaver Shop Hustler, where he's co-starring with Jimmy Walker, Bow Wow, and Pinky. Now, who are we talking about? Who are they talking about, right? Let's read. First of all, Jimmy Walker makes a hellified living for himself doing stand-up.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. I interviewed him when he was in Las Vegas. We did an impromptu interview. He was very kind. Actor Isaiah Washington says, I'm leaving Mega Gang. I just realized it's a grift. Actor
What? Wait a minute.
Isaiah Washington, I'm leaving Mega, Make America Great Again gang. I just realized it's a grift. Look up the word grift. It's an old term. It's an old, almost old English term. Grift. Has to do like with a scam or something like that. Grift. What's the definition of grift? Grift.
A petty or small scale swindle.
It's part of the game, right? It's part of the game. So the person writes, well, I guess it's back to Chitlin Circuit movies for you. Coming this summer, Weaver Shop Hustler, where he's co-starring with Jimmy Walker, Bow Wow, and Pinky. Now, we're talking about Pinky from next Friday, the record store owner, or are we talking about another Pinky? Pinky Tuscadero.
Let me look up
Remember
Pinky.
Pinky Tuscadero?
Happy Days.
Yeah. Does anybody remember Pinky Tuscadero? Miss Ash says that is dirty as heck, real dirty, to have another man pay for a child that is not his, while the real father running around free of responsibilities. Running around free as a bird. That's right. That's true. So Pinky is probably from the next Friday movie, right? Because there's no real Pinky other than, Bow Wow. We know who Bow Wow is. What?
Actually,
What?
it is.
Okay, so who's Pinky?
Okay, according to, she did a Vlad TV interview. She got this pink wig on, and this was so I guess she would have been one of those overnight short-lived sensations, because this is 2012, and Pinky discusses where her talents lie in the bedroom and what really gets her motor revving.
Oh, I forgot. Pinky the porno star. I really have forgot about Pinky the porno star. Okay, I get it. That's not funny. All right, moving right along. Not shit. Okay. It's up to us to break generational curses. When they say, quote unquote, it runs in the family, you tell them, quote unquote, and this is where it runs out. It's up to us to break generational curses. When they say it runs in the family, you tell them, and this is where it runs out. Those are strong words from the person who wrote it. I don't know, but those are strong words. You got something to say there?
But that's absolutely right. Do you know that there are whole ministries built on the concept of deliverance? And part of what they're being delivered from is generational curses. The problem with the doctrine is that how are you going to explain the scripture that says, if any man be in Christ, he's a new creation. Old things are passed away and all things become new and all things are of God. See, the problem is people are not exercising their rights. Even if they never heard that scripture, everything is within you. You have the power to do what you want to do. And you have the power to stop what you want to stop. It's all on you. Deliverance is a decision. Deliverance is not an event where you go to the church and the mothers pray over you and speak in tongues and you snot and then get up off the floor and all of your desires are gone and proclivities are gone. The desires are still there. If you have a desire to do certain things, those desires still going to come up. The difference is that you make a different decision because you live in a different life. You make a different decision. And if once you realize it's an awakening, actually being born again is an awakening. And most people are not born again. So the awakening is that, hey, God is on the inside of me. Because of that, I got power over anything that would try to rule me or overrule me. So when that caption right there, that meme, that's excellent. Break general curses. This is where it runs out. Right. Because I choose not to be like Uncle Joe. I choose not to be like Aunt Mabel if she was, laying up on the system and fourth generation recipient of different things. I choose not to be like that. I'm greater than that. I am that I am. See, when you start saying, proclaiming I am, now you're walking into your godness. So I love that. I love that meme right there.
Yes. Moving right to the next meme. No matter how sad their story is, Don't let nobody move in your house. No matter how sad their story is, don't let nobody move in your house. Don't let nobody move in your house. The sob story, right? Do not
let me
let
speak on that one too.
one. Don't let no one move into your house. They got the sob story. They down their luck. Oh, they just caught gout. Oh my God. They haven't had a burger. They'll gladly pay you on Tuesday, but can they stay in your house scot free forever, ever?
Absolutely not. I remember I have a live story. So about 3 or 4 days after my dad passed, someone had called me, and they were pretty cool with my dad. And it still was a lot of gall though, to call and make the request. I want, how you doing? I wanted to see, I'm getting evicted out of my house, and I wanted to see if Mr. E would let me stay in the basement for about a month while I can get some things together. And
wait, let me preface the one thing though. See, the way I saw it, because we had just done 7, 8 episodes about our father passing, from Tonya actually being in the COVID room, to the point where we said, you should go home, all the way to the finish, and then the finish line, then all of a sudden the person calls after the finish, after the conclusion, as if people wouldn't have known. It was well publicized, and the person was on Facebook. So I was like, when she told me, I was like, my thing is, he had to know that he was gone, and he was probably, in my opinion, trying to play on a moment where he thought that you would be weak. But continue on. That's just the preface. That's just prefacing. Go ahead.
Well, actually, what it did was it made me stronger. The situation made me stronger. Losing my father made me stronger. So now that lessens the options of tugging at my heart, because, and it's not that I don't care about people. I care about people. I can love people, and I know how to love people from a distance. I know how to love them in reality and understand that they are not good for my environment, because somebody end up in jail. So I said to the person, I said, well, Mr. E is gone, and this house is not open for stay, so no. And it was the way that I put it, and they didn't even, but then after the home going, about the next weekend after the home going, my phone rings, and it's a number I don't recognize, and they called back saying that they had been sleeping on a bench and was waiting on a bed at one of the facilities here in the city, and could they come here and take a shower? I said, you may as well cross this number off your list. I said, this house is not open because the only thing he hadn't asked for was a meal. I said, this house is not open for stays, showers, or meals. So you can cross that off your list. Wow, you wouldn't give them a meal? No, because you have to understand the dynamic. I'm not going to go into all of that, but the dynamic of it was that there was a time that has passed for that, and it's just not going to happen. And see, when it says no matter how sad their story is, don't let anyone move into your house. Let me tell you something. The first question you need to ask yourself about them. Don't ask them, because they're going to lie. They're going to have a reason or an embellishment why things are like they are. But the first question you need to ask yourself is, how did they get in that position? And then based on how long you've known them, look at the pattern of their life. How's it always been? And so this was the logical conclusion of how they lived their life. They lived it, then it got to a point now where things is out of order, and now this is the manifestation of how you've been all out of order all your life. Now you want to come and bring that mess up into my environment. Ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So yeah, you just have to. Now what I will do for a person, I'll give them in Cleveland 216-436-2000. That street card, first call for help. That is the resource line for every shelter, every place you can go get a meal, everywhere you can go get some drawers and socks and clothes brand new. Everything is at 436-2000. That's what I would do. I'll give you that number. And maybe even call for you. Maybe even, find out if they have any openings at the City Mission or Laura's home. I might ask. I might do that for you. But that's about it.
You see that? See, that is the charitable way, right? That is the charitable way. Tracy Latrice says, what did she say here? She says, I wasn't born when Happy Days was on. I am a millennial. Everybody's a millennial. That's right. Them old people be talking about, I'm a millennial. You're a millennial. People who are millennials are people who were born at 2000 and beyond. All these other people, like people 30, 37, 39. I'm a millennial. No, you're a Y and a Zer. A zenith. Millennials are our nephew's age, coming up on 18 now.
Right.
Come on now. All right. So, did you see the inaugural? Matter of fact, Michelle had on one piece with her coat, and the coat was open. It was a burgundy. It was a bad outfit that she was walking in, right? Walking down the steps with Barack. Did you see it? Did you see the inaugural? Did you see them come in? They got a large applause. They got a really large applause when they came. Hey! After they hated them for 8 years. Hey! Okay. So the meme reads, bring it closer. The meme reads, Barack on Twitter. Barack on Twitter. You got 2 impeachments. I got 2 terms. We are not Michelle. Give me that phone. We go high. Barack on Twitter. You got 2 impeachments. I got 2 terms. We are not, probably would say, we are not the same. Michelle, give me that phone. We go high. And they got her looking like a reprimanding mom. Like, oh, Mom, give me that. Give me that. Give me that phone, boy. Starting something, we go high. When they go low, we go high. And they take your knees out. Just ask Orenthal James Simpson. Okay, anyway. I see y'all finally taking those COVID. Wait, it's spelled different. It's spelled different. They don't need to be clipping. It's spelled different. The person was shrewd and knew that when they put it on one of those prefab backgrounds that Facebook offers, that it becomes a published item. And like we said, the copyright on, so it's COVID. It's COVID, not cold. With the D, right? So it's spelled different. I see y'all finally taking those COVID shots like heroin. A few more crash dummies for the week. I see y'all finally taking those COVID shots like heroin. A few more crash, he should have put test dummies for the week. He should have put crash test dummies. That would have made it funny. You got to put the test in there. You have to put the test in there. A few more crash test dummies for the week. Now remember, yesterday we showed you the meme saying, tomorrow, which is today, so I'm definitely waiting on the results of that. The person said, I am going to get the shot because it's the right thing to do. And of course I said, deuces. And so we will see what happens because I don't know, but I don't want to be that 0.02%, in the study that was 4 to get to 40, to get to 400, we get to 4,000. You get it. And it goes up 40 million in the end, 0.02% of the population that has Bell's palsy. Right?
But wait a minute. When did they say that the thing was good to take now?
Well, they in Nevada they opened up. I mean, it's Nevada, but in Las Vegas in particular, they have opened up. They've opened up the Cashman Center. They opened up a few other places where you could just come in and just get the shot because they say it's so many doses stored that they haven't gotten out. Everybody didn't want it, so they're opening it up past the old people and just letting anyone come to get it, right? And if you're 60, then you're right there in that framework where you can get it, right? All I know is if I'm an active person, I'm a 60 headed to 70-year-old, and I'm an active person and I'm out there, I don't want to do anything that's going to take away from my livelihood or my activity. And catching Bell's palsy will definitely make people cringe and step away from you. Like, what's going on? Is it contagious? Is your mouth drooping contagious, my nigga? Like, what's going on? Look, did you know that President Donald J. Trump pardoned Kodak Black? He also pardoned Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne has been pardoned. All right. Now, for all those people who were talking about Lil Wayne and all that, they sold out. They were talking about he went there and then was asking the man a legitimate thing about getting a pardon. Right. They didn't know what he was there for, but he took the photo op, and what did Trump do? He granted a pardon. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm in a situation, I wouldn't care which party granted me the pardon. I'm not going to talk to him because I don't like him. I'm not going to talk to him, so I'm not going to try to petition to get a pardon. Shit, George W. Bush. Remember when everybody hated George W. Bush? And George W. Bush pardoned the dude, forget his name, the one with the dreadlocks that used to hang with Wyclef Jean. Forget his name, but he pardoned him. And I was like, I didn't even know that you would know this guy. But so
right.
He pardoned Lil Wayne, Kodak Black, and Harry O. And in between times when they show you only the white people he pardoned, there was a lot of black people. Go back and research. A lot of black people that President Trump pardoned. All right? But he's gone now, and this is a new day, and we're going to see how many people Joe Biden pardons, how many people Kamala Harris pardons. Some of the very people that they put in jail are going to be petitioning to be pardoned by them. That's funny, ain't it? That's funny. Let's keep moving. Now, this is where the rubber hits the road. Right? This is a meme. This is actually a video, and I took the still of it. The person saw the person on the side of the road. This is happening in Las Vegas, Nevada right now. We see a lot of this in Las Vegas, Nevada, right? And it says, please help me bury my son. Thank you. God bless. Please help me bury my son. Now, remember when we first started talking about investing in things that may help or may hurt you in when you're using them, right? Like we say McDonald's, we mentioned that, right? Or you could say the recolonization of African countries, the continent, by the Chinese, but invest in their commodities that they're taking out by going to the Shanghai exchange and getting involved in the raw minerals or getting involved in the commodities that are coming from out of Africa because you have a love for Africa. People trading on your love for Africa. You're loving Africa, talking about we should return, but you're not getting any return from the ultimate returns that are happening. You know, that was last year. This year we talk about investing in commodities, investing in stocks, investing in an investment that can give you a portfolio, and investing in insurance, god dog. Investing in insurance so that you can have a little return from it, and then you're able to bury your child. Because there's plenty of other things that American blacks are doing with their money. Maybe you don't need to. It's only a wing and a prayer. To tell you the truth, a lot of people are on a wing and a prayer, to tell you the truth, that their kid gets all the way through. Our parents had insurance on us, right?
Sure did.
They had insurance on it, and that seems heartless, doesn't it? The parent has insurance. Well, you know, it's a certain expense, and then you need to have something. You need to recoup. If the kid dies, you need to recoup off of what you put into the kid, right? So you need to recoup off of that. I mean, that sounds heartless, but you need to be able to bury the kid the way that you had the kid before. Obviously, this person, not to say anything, I don't know, but this person didn't have a kid the way that the kid should have been. Because once you have children, your life ends, and it's all supposed to be put into those children. That's right.
Say it again. Say it again.
When you have children, your life ends, and it's supposed to be all put into the children. Because you could be out there partying and get shot up and killed. Where the kid going?
Mm-hmm. Right.
If you didn't have any insurance for the kid, you didn't have no insurance for yourself. Little kid, he can't do nothing. All they're going to hear is the grown folks talking about that month. We even had no insurance. We had to go out there and panhandle. We've been telling you, do not be out there panhandling. Have something that you can get money from to do what you need to do. Well, this is why we do this. You have to be up on it. So let's look up bullish and bearish. Let's look up bullish market and let's look up bearish market. Yes, that's right. Tracy Latrice said John Forte. That's right. John Forte was pardoned by George W. Bush. John Forte. Do you even know who John Forte? He was a promising producer that got into some kind of, I don't know, he said it was a wrong place at the wrong time type of thing, but I believe it was drugs involved and he went away just in his prime. George W. Bush pardoned John Forte. Did John Forte say, hey, I don't want a Republican, because Bill Clinton was in there before, he didn't pardon him. I mean, are you gonna say I don't want to talk to Trump because he but he pardoned a lot of black people? I'm just saying. Democrats locked up a lot of black people. Okay, let's look up bullish and bearish markets. What is a bullish market?
A bullish market, being long or buying is a okay. Being long or buying is a bullish action for a trader to take. Put simply, being a bull or having a bullish attitude stems from a belief that an asset will rise in value. To say he's bullish on gold, for example, means that he believes the price of gold will rise. Being a bull can represent an opinion or action. Someone who's bullish may go along on the assets they're bullish on. Alternately, they may just have an opinion that the price will rise, but have decided against making any trades based on that opinion. Bullish stances can be extremely specific opinions about a single stock, or they can be broad opinions about the overall market. The term bull or bullish comes from the bull who strikes upward with his horns, thus pushing prices higher. A bull market is when an investment's price is rising, called an uptrend, typically over a sustained period, such as months or years. Bullish, bull, and long are used interchangeably. For example, instead of saying, quote, I am long on that stock, unquote, a trader might say, I am bullish on that stock. Both statements indicate the person believes the price will rise.
Now, what is bearish? What is a bearish trader or bearish market?
Being bearish is the exact opposite of being bullish. It's the belief that the price of an asset will fall. To say he's bearish on stocks means he believes the price of the stocks will decline in value. Just like when bullish opinions, a person may hold bearish beliefs about a specific company or about a broad range of assets. A trader with bearish beliefs may choose to act on them or not. If the trader does not, they may sell shares they currently own, or they may go short. The term bear or bearish comes from the bear who strikes downward with its paws, thus pushing prices down. A bear market occurs when an investment's price is falling, called a downtrend, typically over a sustained period, such as months or years. Acting on a bearish or bullish opinion should only be done based on a well defined and tested trading strategy.
All right. So either you're sticking with it or you're selling it and you're getting from off under it. Okay, people. So the title of the show is Stock Wednesdays, Bullish Stocks. Now, I know what my sister is bullish in, and we're going to have her talk about it in a minute, but I'm going to go through a few stocks that I am bullish in, right? And it will shock you, right? Of course, you should know already. The Blackstone, wow, they're trying to clip. Wow, interesting. The Blackstone Group, we talked about, they just acquired the Star Wars building, right, from Disney in Singapore, which puts them in the movie business, right? They also own the Swab Your Mouth Ancestry.com. They own your DNA.
Ooh.
The Blackstone Group. This one I always noticed when my father was a dietitian by trade, right? What he was taught in the military and what he came out and got gainful employment doing. See, my father came from out of the military, and at first he had to get a job as a manager at Bob's Big Boy first, but then my mother got him into canteen, and then after that into the hospital system where he was a dietitian. He created the diet that the people would eat in the hospital and in the inn, in the retirement home, what the people would eat, the diet that would sustain their bodies until the end, right? So U.S. Foods is doing its thing, right? Another stock that you should have stock. Did you know that you can have stock in food companies though? Did you know that? You should really get stock in U.S. Foods. U.S. Bank, right? U.S. Bank is doing things. U.S. Bank is doing things right now with the way that the market is. Banks are moving right now. U.S. Bank in particular. Western Union is up. Pfizer. Do you have stock in Pfizer? You know, what may harm or help you? Mostly harm, but you had a stock. You should have stock in what could harm or help you, right? Visa. You use Visa card. You get in debt every Christmas, every Valentine's Day. I'm jumping to October, every Sweetest Day, for those who know what that is. Every 4th of July, you know, you get the ribs and the alcohol and all that. And, you know, do you have stock in U.S. Foods? Because you're getting the ribs. But let me continue. And then, so Visa, you're using it as a debit card. You actually have a Visa, right? And Moderna. Do you have stock in Moderna? You know, these are the people that you're going to go and you're going to be sticking that in your arm. So you should have stock in it. You should have stock in it. And these are bullish stocks that are going up. I got to look at what the stock market is doing right now because yesterday the stock market was up. And it's been a up. It's been a bullish market, right? So I know what my sister is bullish, the type of stock or commodity. I say it's a commodity because it's something round, right? And so I want to turn it over to her and she can talk about her bullish commodity. So I should have named the show Bullish Stocks and Commodities, but we get the point, you know. And so what are you bullish about?
For me, it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin has gone up by 10,000 in the last month, $10,000 in value in the last month. And so with Bitcoin, there are other, when you get to know about block trading or chain block trading and Bitcoin, there are different types of coins. It's not just Bitcoin. There's Ethereum. There are actually about 25 different top coins that you can trade, with Bitcoin being number one. Check out the spot mug. Put that back up there. The spot mug. That's our cold beverage mug. Pick one of those up. Support. But yeah, so you can have, I think after Bitcoin is Ethereum, and there's this new one on the uprise called the G999 coin out of Monaco. And so what I'm doing with that is I am collecting that. My goal is to get to 100,000 of those and just sit on them. And I'm at 58 now. 100,000 that will convert in time into millions. Okay. So, but you have to, when you're doing any type of investing, whether it be commodities or in stock, this is not a get rich quick, fly by night thing that's going, if you're going to put your money in and you can't afford to do it right now, don't invest in something you can't afford to just leave the money there. If you can't just leave it alone, you're going to be taking it in and out, just leave it alone right then. That's why we're telling you now. D mentioned Blackstone, and Blackstone, I mean, he's been watching them, and now I'm watching them too, because they bought that Disney thing, and that's not gonna go nowhere but up. And they got that ancestry thing with that y'all letting them swab your mouth and stuff. But hey, you may as well get stock in it. Right now it's at $65.13 a share, so it's still manageable. If you could just get one, it's still manageable, and it's been steadily on the upswing. There's been no dips. Well, if it was dips, it was probably overnight from what I'm looking at, and so over the last year, it's been climbing. It hasn't been dropping. It's been climbing, so that's a good investment. U.S. Foods that D just talked about. I don't see the stock rise on that one, but I know it's got to be good. U.S. Bank Corp stock is 45.35 right now. Now they've been on a decline, so they've been bearish. They've been on a decline, but they're destined to go back up. I would look at the other banks too, like Chase, KeyBank. I would look at all of those as well.
No,
Western
they
Union.
were, I don't know what you're looking at, but they're up overall. That might be just a trend,
Are they?
but they're up overall. That's what I'm saying. U.S. Bank is a great investment because they're making good choices in how they're investing their money in building, in whatever. Now, it's important to get in and get to do this because we don't know what's happening in the next couple of years, right? We might have to see if the immigrants that are coming across the border are on some kind of commodities trading. Because while they're taking your job, you can be making money. You can be making money off of the people who are taking your jobs from you, right? So continue on.
You are correct. I stand corrected about that. Over the last 6 months, they've done nothing but go up. I was looking at just today only. So probably if they've been steadily going up over 6 months, probably by the end of the day, they'll be up. Because, the stocks move up and down all day. Western Union right now is $21.95 a share. Now that's an easy one to get. You can even get two of them. If you don't have a whole lot of money to work with, you can get two of them. They've been in the green steadily over a 6-month period. They've been steady. They've been kind of steady. So they've been up and they've been steady. And Western Union is, let me tell you what else about Western Union. Besides sending money and paying bills through Western Union, also with these gifting communities where you sew in, a certain amount of money to get a certain amount of money, a lot of the payout options, people are using Western Union to collect their pays as well. Visa, now Visa's up there, $206.50 a share. Nothing but up the last 6 months. Nothing but up. The last 5 years, nothing but up. Visa. Moderna, $124.30 a share. Over the last 6 months, up. And Pfizer, $36.55 a share, been nothing but up. Even though we haven't officially started taking the vaccine, but Pfizer's name is on a lot of stuff. Pfizer's name is on a lot of medications and stuff like that. So you may as well. And while we were talking about the man there, help me bury my son, how about casket manufacturers? How about investing in casket manufacturers? So I looked up the you can go get a whole list of the top casket manufacturers. The top one at 2.1 billion is Batesville Casket Company. And so I looked up their stock, and Batesville Casket Company is 43.67 a share. So that's an easy one to get as well. And it seems that they stay on the upswing as well. They're up in the green right now on the New York Stock Exchange.
What's the name of the casket company again?
Batesville Casket Company.
Casket Company. That's like the Bates. It's like the Norman Bates. It's like the Batesville Hotel, right? Let's see.
So you would have to consider.
Go ahead.
You would have to consider if Batesville is the number one at $2.1 billion as annual estimated revenue. Then you have Matthews that comes in at $1.5 billion. The Aurora Casket Company at $142 million. Suhor Industries at $76.7 million. That means if Batesville is coming in at 42 something a share, then those other ones are probably going to come in lower than that to get in. So you may as well get stock in all the top casket companies. People are always dying. It's not, and now we are in COVID. Now we're in, they're creating and manufacturing diseases. So more people are going to be dying, and more, I know that sounds morbid, but more people are going to be dying, and more caskets going to be made. So that's a good thing to invest in right now.
Yes, you have to deal in things. They had clipped us on everything. Once we started talking about the stocks, they clipped us on everything. YouTube stayed up, so YouTube is a straight signal, but Facebook started back up as a whole nother broadcast, right? It's part
Boy,
two.
do I want to call them a name.
Yeah, so they clipped us, but it was hitting hard, everything. They didn't want no one to know anything. When stocks become a hazard. That's right, when stocks become a hazard, right? So, we have given you that information. Stock Wednesday, the bullish stocks, right? And as we close, we have to say this. As we pass on, as we move from this plane, next again, I'm one big clip. As we as we move from this plane and we leave this plane and we move on, always remember, we always seem to return.
Wow.
All right. Oh, wow. They don't want you to know that either? Oh, wow. Okay. We just keep on coming back. So as we pass this plane, remember, we always seem to return. Yes. So, we've gotten through the show. Do you have anything else that you would like to say before we close out the show? We've got 29 minutes, but we don't need to go that long because we've hit all the topics that we need to hit. Hit and get out. That's what they say. Hit, get out, end the fight early if possible. What do you got to say?
Unless television is part of something that you do, like D and his wife do movie reviews, so in different show reviews. So television would be part of what they would need to spend their time in order to bring that information to you. But if it's not where you need to bring it to anybody, you need to shut it off and start setting things in order. So we give you stock on Wednesdays. We give you health food to not only taste good, but help nourish your body in the best ways possible on Tuesdays. Monday is miscellaneous, but we cover a plethora of topics there. On Thursday, we're giving you truth. It's all truth, but we just go deep into truth on Thursday. And then Friday is Freaking Friday, which is a potpourri of different things. You can take this information and you can take you a notebook and write you categories. If you follow our show, you can write columns, the titles of our shows, or each of you can write columns and jot down yourself some notes and some personal goals that you're going to set to position yourself. This is all about positioning and not being a sitting duck out here for people. It's about positioning. It's like, the when a situation comes your way, let me tell you something. I just want to share this with people. I like being transparent. I was not always the most responsible individual in life. I was not always the most responsible individual. I didn't make good decisions. I lived for the moment, just live for the day. I'm dealing with the day, the right now. But you have to look towards your future. You have to. And in order to be ready for the future, the decisions you make today affect the future. Now, I had no idea that I was going to lose my dad. I had no idea that I was going to inherit the responsibility of a whole house. I had no idea about that. But you have to position. If I had not had some type of positioning, some type of change of heart, some type of change of mind, some type of change of behavior, some type of change where, and it's over a few years' time, you can flip things around. But if you know that the course of your life is going somewhere, that if you can look down the road in your future, you ain't gonna make it, and you look down the road in your future, you're like, something gonna be lacking down there if I don't do something right here. Because this stuff that's right here is temporal. Then you begin to take an inventory of what's really important. Who is really important in life? What's really important? What decision? What things can you take with you? What things have a residual buildup? What things are going to serve to build you up or serve to? I don't have any children. Dee doesn't have any children, but we have people that there are children in my life I consider God children that I would want to leave something for. So you have to position yourself to do those things. Don't just be, what kind of life is that you just come and you live it and you just waste it and you let people waste your time and stuff and you never get a grip and then you leave and your legacy dies with you. Ain't nobody, you done nothing extraordinary, haven't sold into the life of any people, haven't done anything. You were just here. That's not God's purpose for your life. Okay? So we're here to bring you the information to reposition yourself. Some things take more time than others, but start somewhere. Okay? There's nothing impossible with God.
Yes. So people, you can hear my sister on her show, What's the Point? Sundays at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. And you can always listen to the replays. Go to Google, type in hashtag you found the spot. You go to Google right after the show. You got to see this. Type in hashtag you found the spot. As you scroll down, you will see the website, etc. Then you will see podcasts. Click one of the podcasts, and then you'll be able to click the main title of the spot, hashtag you found the spot, and then you'll see all of her episodes. So you can listen right there from the comfort of your computer, right? 5 episodes up already. Another episode coming this Sunday, so you don't want to miss out on listening to What's the Point? On Sundays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, it's hashtag TFR Podcast Live. the Film Review, movies, music, culture, politics, society podcast. Myself and my wife, we're bringing reviews to save you pocket revenue, right? Then of course we're here. Oh wow, they're clipping. Of course we're here from Monday through Friday, weekdays, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. It's hashtag observations TFR. It's myself with my special guest host, my sister Tonya M. Congress, right? And you can hear us live, but then you can go right there to Google, type in hashtag you found the spot, and you're able to listen to us, binge listen. We have the information there, up there for you. You can listen right on the podcast, right? So we appreciate being able to bring the show to you. Tomorrow is Truth Thursday. So you want to tune in for that. Hopefully they won't clip us too bad. The replay will be up. And all we can say, this is inaugural 2021. We've got the Biden-Harris administration in office now. And so all we can say is we wish them the best, and hopefully it's not going to turn out the way that we think it's going to turn out. Hopefully it turns out better, and he is a better overseer. I'm not saying it, no. A better shepherd of the flock than what we think he will be. So, is there anything else? Oh yeah. If you like what you hear, $ you found the spot, YOU found the spot. Go right over to $ you found the spot on Cash App and drop a few dollars in the Cash App. We shall see you tomorrow, right? We shall see you tomorrow on another great episode of hashtag observations TFR episode 81. Truth Thursdays. See you tomorrow.
Here's the thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood community, heart,
Observations TFR, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday.